All right, here we go, everyone.
So who here once believed in the end of the world at any point in their life? So when I was 6, I used to watch a lot of horror movies, and little did I know I was really naive and gullible at the time. So I was watching a zombie movie. I think it's called Shaun of the Dead, and I was watching that at home, and I went to school the next day, and I started running home for some reason, or right when it ended. I didn't skip school, but I went home and I started packing everything. I was getting machetes. I don't know why I had a machete, but I was packing my clothes, and my family was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Zombies are coming." And so I was really young. Point being, I don't know what I was doing. And so did you know that 9 out of 10 people believe that the end of the world is going to come, but no one's prepared for it? So I'm going to talk about the history of survivalists, the statistics, and what the types of people that fall under that category. And so the survivalists actually began in the 1950s, and the statistics have showed that there's an increasing amount in every generation, as well as the types of people that fall under survivalists. Oh, yeah, there's a zombie. And so the history actually began, or according to censam.org 2018, the origin actually happened after World War II and the Cold War. So during that time, people just experienced the war for 6 years, and everyone was in shock that devastation was around and no one knew what to expect and what to come. So schools started sending these little educational videos around their schools, and one of these were Bert the Turtle, sorry. And what the video was this turtle that would hide in his shell whenever there was a grenade. And they showed that during the 1950s because apparently that was acceptable at the time. And during that time, there's a lot of people that didn't know what to do, and so they started collecting a lot of canned food just in case if crops or food died out. And that's basically how survivalists came to be. And so I talked about the history, and so I'm going to talk about the statistics. And this is just a graph of what people get in percentages or what they have in their homes. And what it showed is that there's an increasing percentage within the 3 generations, and the 3 generations, if you didn't know, are baby boomers, Generation X, as well as millennials. And according to Finders.com, there was 17% of baby boomers were prepared for doomsday, and 31% of Generation X were prepared, and finally, millennials were at 38%. And so I talked about the statistics. I'm going to talk about the people that fall under these survivalist categories or subculture. And so I believe everyone has mainstreaming that survivalists or doomsday preppers are people that hide in bunkers, and they go through courses that help them survive anything that can come. But these survivalists actually fall under anyone that collects canned foods just to prepare for natural disasters that could come, like flooding, typhoons, or tornadoes. And so these people could actually be your local firemen or police officers, or just your everyday neighbors that just collect any types of food just to prepare for the future. Just if anything goes wrong, they'll be prepared for whatever comes. And so I talked about overall, I hope I've informed you more about survivalists, and that not everyone is preparing for zombie invasions like I was, or they just fall under anyone that is prepared for the future. And so I talked about the history, statistics, and the types of people that fall under survivalists. And just to recap, the history actually began in the 1950s. The statistics have shown that survivalists continue to increase within each generation. And finally, the types of people that fall under survivalists. And that's it. Thank you.